saw during the Occupy Cal event, one of the main issues on the agenda for all of this will be police accountability. This is definitely an area of interest for everybody. You know, free speech is an extremely important element of this campus community, and we need to protect that, and we need to make sure that people are able to express what they think in a nonviolent way and not have police action taken against them as forcible. On this front, I think I've been talking in talks with an ASUC senator regarding ways to approach the protest response team, which is the administrative team and committee that is responsible for being on the scene of these types of events and sort of doing the crowd control function, making sure the administration has a presence that students are aware of and feel comfortable with, instead of just having police action taken against them. And two issues that stand at the moment with regards to the protest response team's mandate include that they're not being held accountable for their decision-making process. And one proposed change to that would be that they are forced to, in some way, document their minutes, so that those minutes may be released after the fact and studied, so that we can have more effective review processes like the police review board and have a better discussion about that. And the second point there is that potentially we could have a student in those discussions. As it stands, this response team has only administrators, and that's not exactly what we want to see. We would like to have some sort of student input in that process, since it's a highly important team when dealing with these types of events. So we'd really like to see that happen. And moving forward, just revitalizing the police review board and ensuring that all of our review processes of the police are effective, and in this way ensuring that student protests are handled in a safe manner. In addition, we will make sure to have caseworkers present at the scene during these types of events, passing out flyers regarding how to protest safely, and how to, with regards to how to file complaints against CCTV officers, as well as with regards to how to approach any conduct charges that may face thereafter.
In recent years, student advocates have dealt with issues like revisions to the Code of Student Conduct and the fallout of student protests. What do you think are going to be the office's main challenges next year?
All right. I believe the main challenge will be to have students take their own action. Yeah. That is first thing. We need to have students be able to fight their own concerns and their own views. And I believe that they should be able to have their own right here on this campus. Now, with regards to police brutality with the occupied students and everything, I believe that most definitely that we don't need the administration to be trying to control us and trying to brutalize us, but we are just trying to voice our opinions. We have the right to free speech on this campus. I believe that we, as a students, we can regain our student power on this campus. And I believe that through building the new civil rights-led movement, we can achieve student power and have student leadership back united on this campus. Thank you. Because right now, administration is not really on our side. If you can see that.
Okay, so I was asked to introduce myself. I'm Tim Semenoff, and I'm running for ASUC Student Advocate. I've been in the office, the Student Advocate's office for 5 semesters now, 3 of which I was a caseworker, and the last 2 I was the Chief of Staff to the current Student Advocate, Stacey Sutt. In terms of the question that was just posed, I think that one innovative change that can be made to the Code of Student Conduct is institutionalizing a system of restorative justice as an alternative to the conduct process in some rare, not rare, but some cases that meet criteria. The criteria being firstly that the case is of a non-extremely contentious nature. So for example, a sexual assault case would not be applicable for this because there are a lot of emotions and tensions that come out in that case that would not be appropriate for a mediation setting and where it might not be safe even for the parties to be in front of each other. But in terms of the other criteria, it's that the case, the individual, so the way that the process works is that the individual would have the opportunity to go through a non-punitive process where they would not necessarily face conduct sanctions and something that would stay on their record with the university. Instead, they would go to a mediation circle where a mediator who is trained in these issues would sit down with them and the party that has a problem with them, the accusing party, and talk out a way to resolve that in a community-building manner. So that brings me to the second criteria, which is that the individual who is being accused must feel to some extent remorseful or to some extent as though they would like to apologize to the party that they have done harm to. And that in that way we can have a process that will be community building, that will be effective for all parties involved. I think that's one of the more innovative things that we're already beginning to work on, and I would really like to continue on my agenda next year where I'd be elected. And there are a variety of other ongoing issues, including the fact that as of the moment it's not entirely clear what the appeal and what the process is for expunging a record with regards to a non-reportable warning. We've experienced this